What's up, homie?
Tate, we got Tate. Before you even get started, we got to send out the no Diddy immediately, right over to the
no Diddy.
You guys to chill.
That's a chat room no Diddy.
The entire chat room.
Gerald Abney and Mark Malone specifically over here talking about sausage sandwiches at Permani's, no mayo, extra spicy. Let's call it the Rod Gobbler. Is oil an ingredient? Like, it's a Freaky Friday right off rip.
Off the rip.
I don't hate Mark Malone in the comments. I don't hate his business acumen or his idea to capitalize, because it's his America. All we do is capitalize on nonsense in the news. I'm not hating it, because he says he's pitching the idea of a no Diddy sandwich. It's no sausage, no extra mayo. If you've been following the news, there's a lot of smearing in the mayo and oil. Oil. Wow. I don't hate it, but
hey,
don't need it.
It's definitely creative.
I don't know about that, but
I mean, think about it.
Somebody might give you some money for it.
It didn't pop into the front of my brain.
No, but it doesn't mean he left creative. He got a no Diddy sandwich with no sausage. Correlation. No mayo. Correlation. No oil. Johnson & Johnson's baby oil. Correlation. It's a creative idea. Now, whether it's a seller, I don't know. Some people might like the Diddy sandwich.
Well, is it no Diddy or Diddy? Because if it's a Diddy sandwich, it's plenty of sausage.
Yeah. Diddy, plenty of beef, extra mayo.
It's a foot long bun with two sausage. Point.
From what they're saying, from what the witnesses are saying, it's not a foot long.
It's not foot long. Yeah, it's an 8-inch bun with two sausages in it.
No, it's a Tootsie Roll sandwich.
It's a miniature. It's a miniature sandwich.
It's a slider. It's a sausage slider.
It's a Vienna sandwich.
Oh man, Vienna. I have to hit Vienna right there at the same time with you.
Oh, there she
What's up, Big Pun? Craig Werlow, Mr. Woosai, Mark Malone, obviously, Jace Upper Teeth, Danny Littlejohn. We got Robert. We got the crew over here in the side. Eh?
Big Pun said Big G went overboard on T-Bird. Oh, he's laid out somewhere.
Little Jared Devil, Jimmy K.
Shout out to the homie Big G.
Trevor.
Hey, Felicia. Hey, shout out to Big G. He's actually out, had some family stuff to take care of, last minute family stuff to take care of this evening. So he's not with us tonight. You got myself, obviously, the homie B Dirt and the homie Pay. Pay and I still haven't talked yet. I came backstage, said, "What's up, Pay?" He still ain't spoke to me yet. So I don't know if we got beef or something. You know,
he nodded his head. I think
man, I don't do no head nods, man. I can't hear.
I don't recall any of this going on. I think you're making it all up.
B Dirt, did you hear me?
Huh?
Did you hear me say what's up to Pay?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I just don't want to think I'm crazy. What's up?
What's happening, guys? What's happening?
Yeah,
what's happening, everybody? Happy Friday.
Freaky, right off rip. Steelers fan. You know what? Good question. It says, do you think Aaron Rodgers will make this team much better? You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. We were actually not going to talk about Aaron Rodgers today.
Not at all.
Until you brought it up, but we will definitely get into that now.
We talked about it for the past 2 months. There's no reason to talk about it now.
What do you mean?
No, I'm saying I'm just going along with your thing right there.
There's no reason to talk about it. I don't know if you all saw it, but the president said that he announced Mason Rudolph was your quarterback. And now you all went behind his back and brought in some other guy that's as the other quarterback. I don't know if you all been following the news this week.
I saw there where Mason Rudolph showed support to the president, the current administration, and it was, I don't know how it's taken by some people. Obviously, some people support that, some people don't.
He showed up to the rally, and the president of your president, he said, and that Mason Rudolph, that's his pick to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That flat out. And then you all went behind his back and brought in this other guy, this denier. I don't know if this has been a crazy week. Have you all been following the news on that thing called Twitter? I don't know if you ever heard of that thing. It's like Black Planet, but
I don't
have music and it doesn't have the top 5 friends. But your president, he's been big on that.
Him and the proprietor and owner of Twitter or X are kind of beefing right now, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's right.
I've heard that. Like they going back and forth like adolescents, like teenagers on Twitter. So I'm not keeping up.
Listen, I'm in sales. I'm not worried about the beef on Twitter or any of that stuff. I'm just watching where the tariff wand lands. Boop, whoop. Because all these prices go wing, wing, all over the place, up and down, up and down, up and down.
So, sort of like Diddy's libido.
Oh man, back to Diddy we go.
Back to Diddy we
Daredevil. He's
no Diddy.
Daredevil says he's still got MySpace. That's good.
Daredevil still has MySpace.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, is that still a thing?
MySpace is still functioning, yes.
Is it?
Oh wow.
Upset.
Yeah, that's 20 years.
They actually had their best year ever, B-Dirt.
Really? How do you even know that?
Gotta I'm well read. Gotta want to learn, gotta want to earn, That's my motto.
That's a call out. You just Google it on MySpace.com.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think to Google MySpace anymore. Like that's so 2007 at the latest for me.
Bing it.
You said bang it?
Bing it.
Oh, instead of Google, I got you. I know what Bing is, pay. Thought you were getting one to go over the old head, literally, huh? Didn't happen. But I have past week have had to pay, no pun intended, a couple times because my Cincinnati Reds suck.
What happened?
Come on, man. You don't even gotta talk to me, but you got your payments because that's all I do. As soon as I lose it, send my
Who had this? Who had this happening on June 6th? That the number 1 record in the AL was going to host the number 1 record in the NL.
They are playing right now.
And who had it being standing room only in Detroit hosting the Chicago Cubs?
Me.
I did not. I gotta be honest with you, I did not, but here we are.
Yeah, they are playing right now. And Big G's not here, but the Pirates and Phillies are playing right now.
Oh, who?
The Pirates and Phillies.
Boy, the Pirates are rough.
Is that standing room only?
No.
I don't know.
No, I had a friend sit right behind the third base dugout last night for $38.
The Cubs in Detroit are tied at 0 in the bottom of the 5th.
Is that right?
Cincinnati Reds are down 3-2 in the top of the 5th to the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Interesting.
So yeah, this year is not going like I thought it was going to go with baseball. But fellas, man, we're going to get into the football of it all. Talk about some of these teams in the North and what's going on. Talk about the biggest news, because we do kind of keep up with the news a little bit, Pay. I mean, I don't know, maybe not as well versed as yourself. I didn't know MySpace was still a thing. Thanks for enlightening us.
Had their best year ever last year.
Hey, man, you never, ever lean back like that. You trying to flex the W, man. It's the subliminals, B-Dirt. Did you see that?
I like it. He leaned up with the Cubs hat earlier when I started talking about baseball. They lean back with the W. I like it. I'm digging it.
Whoa! You guys are looking too far into this. I'm just readjusting my seat. Just making sure I'm well propped up for the show. I can get right here into the camera. Just nothing.
That propped up was a good say, because I got a feeling what was finna be said out your mouth. Going Diddy. I mean, come on, man. You know he's going to say you're well positioned.
I don't know. You got to take it to the jury. I don't know about that one, Tate.
No Diddy.
That's for myself in case I was wrong, but I know that's what you're going to say. I can't prove it. I know. But, fellas, we're going to go ahead and jump to our first break and come back and talk some football. We got OTAs going on everywhere. We got over-unders. B-Dirt, I'm sure you're well-versed at that. We can maybe get some updated over-unders for the AFC North. The Browns. No, that's the other team. Baltimore, the Ravens re-signed
Super chat.
Rashad Bateman for a nice contract for Rashad Bateman. Jimmy K with the super chat. Thanks, Jimmy K, for the $2. I wouldn't mind if they traded for Johnnu now. Jimmy, that's a decent thought. And we'll get into that. I mean, I want to go to break first and come back and get into it. Mr. Woodside say, Pay, you here for the older ladies. Shout out to Pay. Yeah, you fine too, but
I was just mouthing it out. I'm like, pay for the older ladies. What pay are you talking about?
I'm not saying you don't attract ladies of all kind, Pay, but I know of one instance, it was quite funny, where an older lady reached out to you. I won't say who the older lady was, nothing like that, but an older lady reached out to you. Yeah, so
I've been thinking about dyeing my hair ever since. I'm just, I gotta get back into the younger demographic.
Yeah, you can stave off, get a few more years out of it, man. But then your whole J, what is it? J for men, Big G or whatever it is. If that's you, it's allegedly you. I'm not saying that it is, but that don't work the same no more. I don't know. I mean, because if you do that, you got to do the beard then, right? You got to.
That was the only part I was going to hit him. Like,
okay. I thought you was great. Go lean back, position yourself, and lean back to dip the dreads in some dye.
I'm not going to dip my whole scalp into those shoe polish. I'm gonna let Big G have that lane. Other show. He's got that market cornered off. I'm gonna let him have that. That's him.
I get it. He said they're in their 50s now. I miss Mr. Woodsley saying, "Oh, he said because you're on MySpace." He added context to it.
Oh.
Are you on it, or you just know it's still a thing?
I mean, I maybe now and then I check my profile, see what's going on, see if I got any new friend requests every now and then, just to see.
I'm gonna go look and see if my old MySpace is still out there. I mean, I literally wouldn't have looked at it at all in over 15 years, but we'll see. That's that Zuckerberg is Facebook. I don't even know who owns MySpace. I don't even.
It's not Tom anymore. Is that a relevation too? Tom sold it and got out the way.
Tigers went up 1-0. So we're about to take a quick break. If you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. Everybody in the live chat, the chat fam, chat nation, we certainly appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us and rocking with us. Like we said, we won't get the shenanigans of Big G tonight or the super hot takes. We talked about Aaron Rodgers last night on the Know It Alls channel, the Smash the Gas podcast, about the Aaron Rodgers acquisition. And guys, everybody was on Big G, because Big G was super hype about Aaron Rodgers. Super hype. People were like, Big G, how you switch up like that?
It's what he do. It's what he do. It's our guy.
So yeah, that was really, really a thing. At least 10 to 12 commenters was on Big G last night. He said, with new information, you can make new informed decisions. So
what information is new?
Yeah, that he signed, I guess. That he signed. I don't know. Look, Mr. Woodsy say Big G flip-flop on my word. Afton, Big G went off like a guy who's been huffing happy gas. Yeah, Big G was definitely on one last night, man. All about Aaron Rodgers. He hated Aaron Rodgers, didn't want Aaron Rodgers a week ago, but it's my boy. I support him.
You know what it was?
What
Aaron
was it?
Rodgers sent him a package. Send him a care package, the happy gas. You know, he got some of Aaron Rodgers' secret stash, and now they're locked in on cloud 9.
Okay. Rob Life would say he got Big G's back tonight. We're gonna go ahead and jump.
You're gonna need more people, Rob.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people supporting Big G out here in these streets, man. You know what I mean?
We see each other. We see each other.
We're gonna go ahead and jump to
right
break.
by.
And we'll be, if you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. We're not going anywhere. Listen on audio after you hear a few words from our partners and advertisers. We'll be right back after this.
Fine.
Damn, I was trying to avoid the whole finery tonight, man.
Got him.
My bad, man. Let me go ahead and find myself for the one time. But man, fellas, the big news that everybody talked about since free agency began, and I don't know how big it is really. I mean, just because it's a big name, not because it's a big deal, really. And I'm saying that as a Steelers proponent. But we got Aaron Rodgers signing a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I hear somewhere between 10 and 15 million with a lot of incentives. So Aaron Rodgers is officially a Steeler. He'll be reporting to minicamp on Tuesday for the first time as an official as a Pittsburgh Steeler. He may show up on Monday because I believe the players show up Monday. Not sure if Aaron will adhere to that, but he'll be there Tuesday for sure. So me and Big G talked about it quite a bit last night in Smash the Gas, where Big G flipped the script, and now he's all about Aaron Rodgers and what this offense can be. But I want to come to you guys. I even mentioned you last night, B Dirt, because in our chat we got going on, you said you're happy for the Steelers. I took that and I mentioned last night as a sarcastic comment. You're happy for the Steelers because you think it'll be bad for the Steelers.
Yeah, Big G gave me big heart emoji on that one. Tate, you read the room, correct?
Oh yeah, I read the room, right. Big G did give you the heart emoji, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. And I was like, oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
I knew at that point that he had flip-flopped. I knew he had did a total 180 on his stance on Aaron Rodgers when he hit me with that heart emoji. I was like, oh no, he's smitten now.
Well, go ahead and tell us what you think about the acquisition, B Dirt. Go ahead.
Well, before I tell you what I think about the acquisition, I want to tell you what Las Vegas thinks about the acquisition. Nothing. Over under still 8.5. Kind of what I thought about it. I've had some people, we were talking about it on our show last night, and we had people talking about how he's going to be a 1-year rental, better option than what you had in the building. I could see that because you didn't really have much in the building. And the best one, the fun part for me was that he's going to take Will Howard under his wing. I said he's going to take Will Howard out in a canoe in the Allegheny River eating peyote. I don't want him around a rookie quarterback molding him for me.
I want you to finish, but I just want to interject. I mean, Jordan, is it Jordan? Jordan Love speaks really highly of him and what he did for
Correct.
him. So,
I think 4 years ago, he was in a different place in his mind. I don't think he was checked out on football like he has been the past 2 years to me. That's my analysis of what I see, what I hear him say. The Pat McAfee visits, the things he's doing, the dark cave retreats, the leaving instead of going to mini camp, going to Egypt, and just weird stuff he's done over the past couple of years. It doesn't seem like a Steelers move to me personally. And you know that I have a lot of respect for the organization, how the organization's been ran. I've talked about it openly. I've been jealous as a Bengals fan about certain things and how the Steelers conduct business. And I just doesn't feel like a Steelers move to me. It is what it is.
okay, I can't dispute any of that. It doesn't seem like a Steelers move sometimes, but the Steelers moves have not necessarily been working the past 5 or 6 years since they lost their all-time Hall of Fame veteran starting quarterback.
I would even rewind it to his last 2 years, right after his
I would
surgery,
too.
he started having that comeback. I think the team has done. They've recognized where their assets were, and that's on defense. They've played accordingly, and I think they've done pretty good for what they had in the tool belt. I think they've gotten good seasons from what they had as far as talent. The offensive line's getting a little bit better, right? That you guys expected to be a little bit better this year. I do too. I do. Listen, are you going to get Aaron Rodgers, prime Aaron Rodgers from 6 years ago? Because if you do, then some of the stuff I hear people talking about, Steelers Nation around here, going 14-3, 15-2, you need MVP Aaron Rodgers to do that. Not check down Charlie like he has been in the past few years.
I would say you could argue the Steelers went 10-3 last year. 10-7. They started 10-3, then lost the last 4 games in the playoff game, so 5 straight losses. With Russell Wilson, who I believe had like 17, 18 touchdowns and the same amount of interceptions as Aaron Rodgers in an off year. Aaron Rodgers threw for 3,700 yards last year, 28 tubs and 11 interceptions.
When did Russ start? When did he start? Week 6?
Russ started game 7.
Game 7. Okay.
So he played 11 games, 12 games including playoff. I could argue he's another year removed from the Achilles tear that he had. And we'll see. I still think it's the best option of quarterbacks that were available. It's better than Will Howard. It's better than Mason Rudolph. Better than if they had signed. The only hang up I think is I would have gave Justin Fields what the Jets gave him to stay. That's the only. Anybody else? Kirk Cousins didn't want. Sam Darnold didn't want. Maybe I could have traded for Stafford, but you get another old guy still. So they did what they could. They know next year is the year they have to identify the quarterbacks, why they have built a war chest of assets as far as draft capital assets to try and make a move next year. They're trying to set the team up. And I think it's a talented team, all first and second rounders on the offensive line outside. Well, McCormick's a 4th rounder. You pick up DK Metcalf. You draft Caleb Johnson, who looks really good in camp. The defense, I think the defense will be better this year. They beefed up that defensive line. So I'm not saying I still would take the over at 8.5, which means they win 9 games. But Pay, what do you think about it? Let's go ahead and get your Aaron Rodgers take on things.
What do I think about Aaron Rodgers finally signing to the one place that he was definitely destined to go?
Let me ask you this.
Is that the question?
No, the question is just your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers signing still. You called this like 2 or 3 months ago. So kudos to you for that. Let me ask you this. B Dirt, Aaron Rodgers is clearly the 3rd best quarterback in the division, correct? We're talking AFC North.
Yes.
Okay. But how many other quarterbacks in the league of the other 30 would be the 3rd best quarterback in the division?
Quite
probably
a few, yeah.
another 26 or 27 of them.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
if you got Burrow and Lamar Jackson in the top 5, however you got them, that means there's only 3 more quarterbacks that would be in the top.
Yeah, you're right.
Will be number 3 in that division. So, or that could maybe pass Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow to bump them down to 2 or 3, but not many of those I'm getting at. But Pay, go ahead and go at your take and what it means to the Steelers and how you see this thing playing out.
I see it playing out the same way as your season played out last season with it. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a significant upgrade from the quarterback room you had last year. Aaron Rodgers, just look at what he's done in the last 3 seasons. He's clearly not the MVP. If you look at all the baggage he comes with and I'm not even talking about the wide receivers he brings with him with every stop he goes to. I don't know what's up with that. That's kind of weird. There needs to be an investigation on that. But that's besides the point. When Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre had their relationship in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers had good things to say about Brett Favre on the way out as well. It wasn't until years later that he opened up as about how toxic that relationship was. I can imagine 10 years from now, Jordan Love's going to say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. It's just his availability in the locker room doesn't behoove winning. Now, the Steelers had nowhere else to go. You all say this is the best option available. I disagree. This is the option.
Who's better right now today? Who's better?
Who's better? What available?
A better option. Yeah. After everybody signed, who better is available? Then even a better question to yourself.
No one's better right now. I wouldn't even take Kirk Cousins over him because Kirk Cousins, I don't know if he's healthy or not. But if you waited this long for it, obviously you just got to, you putting yourself into a back corner. So, I mean, I guess to answer the question, it was like, what do I think about it? I think nothing about it. It's to say you figured this is going to be a match at some point in the offseason, and here it is. Do I think that moves the needles for the Steelers? No, I don't. I don't think he's an upgrade on the quarterback. I don't think he makes the offense better, especially coming into camp now. Install has been going on already. OTAs happened already. Mandatory minicamp is next week. So I'm happy. At least now he's not missing mandatory minicamp. At least he got that message through his skull from his last stop that, hey, you can't be ducking the mandatory stuff, bro. We don't care who you are. So I guess that's a step in the right direction. If you want to take a positive for it, at least he's showing up on the mandatory stuff.
Okay, I can agree with that. To just offer contrast to what you said, I think the Steelers identified their guy early. They could have had Russell Wilson. They could have upped the guaranteed money to Justin Fields by $10 more million. I think Justin Fields would have had to take a 2-year deal. Aaron Rodgers is 1 year. He's definitely a bridge. And who knows? We've seen it work with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, old guys going to other teams and winning. I'm not saying it's what I expect. I expect them to win over 8.5, and everything after that is just we'll see. And I mean, they were saying the same stuff about Russ last year, how cancerous Russ was to locker rooms and stuff like that. And none of that played out in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry.
There hasn't been some stuff coming out about how the talking room was tired about that.
I'm gonna say Russ was toxically positive. That was Russ's problem towards the end when they were in the midst of that losing streak and Russ coming with all the come on, we got it, we this, we that. That wore thin, but Russ didn't rub anybody the wrong way as far as being in stuff or thinking he was higher than anybody and stuff like that.
Yeah, said it going into the season. He corny.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah, he's definitely a corny guy. I agree completely. But
ask for that corny money and his corny wife. Man, but go on. What are you saying?
Hey. RC got in trouble for it. People getting keep people wife name out your mouth, Pay.
I just said I wish I had his. I wish I had his wife. I'm bigging her up. I love Sierra.
Sierra is an attractive woman, but you can't say I wish I had his wife.
I can say that.
All right,
There's nothing wrong with that. Lucky man. The corny guys are lucky. The corny guys are lucky man. What's wrong with that? I'm pat him on the back. He wanted life. I'm happy for him.
Okay. But yeah, so it's a we'll see. We broke it down on Pump Your Brakes the other night on Wednesday night. I think the Steelers quarterback room is marginally better. Even though I think Justin Fields is a better talent right now, but I think he doesn't bring the cerebralness to the game, an experience that Aaron Rodgers have. I hear Jets fans listening to what's the ESPN show in the morning with Greenberg?
Get up.
Yeah. Greenberg says, fans aren't excited about Justin Fields. It's boom or bust, right? And I wanted Justin Fields, so I'm not knocking it. But they decided they didn't want Russ back. They didn't want him. They didn't want to go after somebody in free agency. So I feel like they got their guy for this 1 year. 1 year deal, still only paying $10 to $15 million to a quarterback, along with Mason Rudolph's money, $4 million. We're under $20 million for the quarterback position, which allows them to load up at other places. I think any guys see any super chats? I'm not looking at the comments. So if you please do, okay, let me know. I was only saying that the quarterback room was marginally better, and that's because of Aaron Rodgers' experience. You'd argue number two is quarterback is not as good because it's Mason Rudolph versus either Russ or Russell or Justin Fields. And three is Will Howard, a rookie with upside. We could have kept what's the other guy's name? I forgot who it was. Kyle Allen. Yeah, who cares? So I'd say the quarterback room is marginally better. The running back room is better. The O-line will be healthy and have another year is expecting year two jumps from some of them guys. Wide receivers, I'd say, are a little better. I mean, DK is just a little better than Pickens and probably brings a better resume, we know, but maybe a better work ethic. Those other guys are kind of still the same. Would you say Robert Wood is better than Van Jefferson? And I think they're going to make a move for a wide receiver. So that room is the same, you say. The defensive line is better. I think the addition, the edge is the same. I think TJ Watt will be healthy. I think he'll get his money, 40.5 million, 40, 41 maybe. And that's the Steelers did that to themselves. Teams that wait to pay their guys. You got to get out.
Tell me.
Right. You got to get out in front of it, man. If a guy is putting up numbers, go ahead and give him his bag. But no, and the Bengals too be Dirk, because we're talking about Hendrickson. You let Max Crosby come get paid. The kid from Daniil Hunter from Houston get paid.
That was the biggest one, but it's only a 1 year contract. That's the difference. If he would take a 1 year contract, I think he would get $35 million.
True. Okay. Well,
so there's the apples and oranges thing speckles into when you start looking into ages and contracts and stuff. It's not exactly the same in Trey Hendrickson's position. All that said, T. Higgins should have been paid a year sooner at least. Jamar Chase should have been paid before the season, not after.
They really fumbled that one.
They cost them between those two. It's going to be $12 million a year. It's probably going to be another $7 or $8 million more they're going to have to pay for Trey. So if they keep all three of those guys, they're out an extra $20 million a season they could have used on two really good players because they didn't take care of it early. You knew what you had. You were watching it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But you're right. I think TJ Watt has been such a difference maker, an elite player. I would have paid him a little bit sooner. I agree with you there. But you are in a good situation. I think I'm very interested to see the details in this contract. With the Aaron Rodgers thing, because it could that piece and having that money, because you could even the thing about the salary cap, it's probably going to leave you about $20 million left on your salary cap. But if there's not a piece that fits this year, that could extend into next year's salary cap. So you could get a rental piece the following year, or a 2 or 3 year player, and use that extra $20 million next year and really beef up going into a rookie year for get an extra lineman or whatever.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You have to spend a certain percentage of the cap.
You do, but but you got to remember that $20 million that you're under the cap doesn't include your practice squad and everything. So you'll be under that percentage. That percentage is less than 10% of the salary cap already, so you'll be fine.
Okay. So TJ Watt, we're talking about. I think the outside linebacker room is better if TJ comes back healthy, because the last 5 or 6 games he wasn't healthy. Nate Herbig, I didn't realize Nate Herbig had the third highest amount of forced fumbles last year. TJ Watt was first, Herbig was third. He's a backup edge.
Yeah.
And
the other thing too with that salary cap, Tate, they could use that extra money if they don't have anybody else to sign, and use it as signing bonus for a contract extension to TJ Watt and keep less cap off of the next 2 years if you extend it.
That I like that idea if they don't do anything with it. I definitely like that idea. Real quick, the middle linebackers, Cole Holcomb seems to be healthy thus far. We lost to Landon Roberts, but Peyton Wilson is in year 2. I think he's front runner, favorite to be the starter next to Patrick Queen, and they picked up Malik Harrison from the Ravens. I think he's a thumper and can play some edge if you need him to, so he's a versatile piece. The secondary, I believe, is better with the addition of, even though he's old, Slay, Corey Trice come back healthy, Joey Porter another year. They picked up Eccles from the Jets. A lot of miscommunication out there last year. Changed both the linebacker and secondary coach, defensive backs coach. And then safety. Minka, I believe, will have a bounce back year. And he was a Pro Bowler last year, probably based on name recognition. But he's a Pro Bowler last year. Deshaun Elliott clearly outplayed his contract. And you trade in KZ as a third safety for Juan Thornhill, who was really, really good at Kansas City before he went to the Browns and kind of got lost in Browndom, But so, I think the Steelers are overall better. But with that being said, we're going to take a quick break and come back and talk about the Bengals and the Ravens. I want to ask Pace opinion on something about the Ravens. If you're watching on YouTube, stick with us. We're going to take our last break real quick, and we'll be right back after this. That's for that cough we heard in the background, which is why some of us hit the mute button. That sounded like that's not sound like a wee boy cough. I don't know. I wasn't looking.
It was definitely me. I hit the mute button, then I hit my microphone. Ronald Blake had a comment back here. He said, I believe the salary cap is a 3-year average of 90 or 95. Single year, you have to be over 89% or over. 4-year average of 95%.
That's called a salary floor, just for those.
Yeah, the floor on the CBA is 89, and then you have to have a 4-year average of 95.
So you have to use a 4-year average of using 95%.
Yep.
So if you're saving money for 3 years in a row, you really got to spend that 4th year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. Hey, let's talk about the Ravens real quick first, man. I think Big G was on one last night. He said this, and I completely disagree with him, along with probably many other people. The Ravens are now scared of the Steelers. That's what Big G said because of the acquisition of Aaron Rodgers. I said, no, they're not, Big G, not at all. Don't even say that. Like, you wilding out, man. Had to hit him with the with the brakes. Like literally, man, wouldn't even pump your brakes. And Big G had to get that one last night, man. And that's probably get that one probably
No Diddy.
on myself, right?
Ooh.
But but no, pay. So just fodder for news this week. Ravens camp OTAs. Derrick Henry said he could beat Lamar Jackson in the race. What do you think about that, man?
So Derrick Henry was on. Before, I'm sorry, I can't even answer that question. Big G is full of big crap. The Ravens are scared of the Steelers because of an old man that's high on grass. Get out of here, Pat. The Ravens are ayahuasca. Let me not recklessly speculate. It's not grass. It's ayahuasca, which is for some people is good, but Aaron Rodgers, he does it to get high. He also goes underneath the sink and huffs the stuff underneath the sink. Also, that's also recklessly speculated. But however, adding that guy to your huddle does not make the Ravens fear you. They don't fear anybody, quote the Raven. Now, back to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was on Dan Patrick's show this week, and they had an interview, wide-ranging topics. Dan Patrick asked Derrick Henry, like, what's your speed? And Derrick Henry's a big guy. He's not a burner. He's not going to run very fast, especially in a 40-yard dash setting like he did at the combine. He ran about a 4.5, as he stated in the interview. So he doesn't test well in that type of stuff. You got to train to run a 40. If those that understand, it's a lot of mechanics that you need to do so you can get the best time and actually get the best money, because that affects your draft position. Dan Patrick then pivoted out of that question and asked him, who's faster, you or Lamar Jackson? And of course, Derrick Henry said himself, because he believes that his football speed is a lot better than what you see on that odometer, or the Timex that you time somebody on the 40. And to be honest with you, if somebody's chasing Derrick Henry, I might put my money on Derrick Henry. I don't know. Lamar's pretty fast, but Derrick Henry, he got a different gear when somebody's chasing him on that field.
I agree. Afton's comment is referencing back to probably her thoughts and her comment last night on Smash the Gas after Big G's. We got to bring the Big G burners back, right? We got to. He says shit all the time.
Yeah. We just don't use the imaging anymore. They're there.
They're there.
As far be it for me to defend the Ravens, but they aren't scared of the Steelers. Listen, I agree with Afton. I agree with you guys. Comments on that. I will say this though: if the Ravens are going to be concerned about something with the Steelers, it's going to be the way that they put together their defense against them. They've had very good success against Lamar. One of the few teams that has. So that's the concern, is how that defense is set up against Lamar Jackson.
Very, very good point, B. Dirt. You can count on you to be unbiased and pragmatic and kind of consistent. I knew, and he's taking a couple shots at Aaron Rodgers already. I know Pay lets his personal feelings get mixed in with some things. He got him huffing under the pipe, under the sink. Like just because he's like 25-3 against Chicago Bear career lifetime.
Talking about like that magenta colored pipe glue. Is that what you? I don't know what he's talking
about. Something that's non-factual. We don't have to know what he's talking about. He got the man.
I said I was recklessly speculating.
I was trying to figure out what he was.
It's in a Geneva. It's in the Geneva Convention. If I say no disrespect, I can say whatever I want after that.
That's right.
But it still doesn't take from your personal bias. Is all we're saying. No disrespect.
I never said I was unbiased again in that subject. I am very biased.
This derived from B Dirt being just straight up and giving up a straight up good take, solid take. Even don't agree with it, it's good or bad, solid. So, but B Dirt, can you read James Overby's comment for us, man?
He says, so they say with Aaron Rodgers, we are only winning between 9 or 10 games, and some shows say 9 games. then what's the reason for signing him? We can do that with Rudolph. Really common man.
Facts.
Listen, I started the show with it. Vegas still has you at 8.5.
I don't disagree, but if there's an upside, the ceiling is higher with Aaron Rodgers than it would have been with Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph started 4 games last year for the Tennessee Titans and went 1-3 or 1-5. So the Titans suck. Because other quarterback, I believe, went Will Levis went like 2-10, and that's 12 games. So Mason Rudolph went 1-4. They won 3 games, right? Number 1 pick. So 1-4. I mean, we have it in our mind images of Mason Rudolph winning those last 3 games in 2023, and we made a playoff run. But we really need to make that playoff run because we lost to the Patriots, we lost to the Colts, we lost to the Cardinals, kind of like in consecutive weeks. So Mason Rudolph did kind of come save the day, but he's not that guy. With the Steelers had to plug him in this year and played him to still keep things intact for next year's draft with the draft capital and stuff and have a cheap quarterback option. This year, they would have. But Mason Rudolph is better than, Aaron Rodgers is better than Mason Rudolph. And if there is a ceiling above 9 wins, which was, to me, that's Mason Rudolph's ceiling is 9. Aaron Rodgers' ceiling with the same team could be about 11. Could be. Not saying it will. Could be. So that's the difference to address the comment. Okay.
The Ravens are 3-4 in the homie era against Pittsburgh. Using the word success is a little rich.
Comparatively speaking to what the homie era win percentage for the Ravens is, that is pretty successful against the Ravens.
It is, and we talking against
how many
Lamar
teams
Jackson.
have a winning record against the Ravens that have played them more than twice in the homie era? I would like to know that.
Kansas City.
Not a lot.
Kansas City's got one. It might be it. Might be it. I don't know. I still say it's a little rich, just a little.
Well, 3 and 4.
It's all relative.
Yeah, relatively speaking,
puts the Ravens win percentage at like 40%, somewhere.
I got a couple things over here. I need to knock off some takes. Some of them we're not going to go back far enough to get all the post here or whatever. I do want to start with this. I'm not going to become a Steelers fan. We can knock that off. I will go to this. I am also not going to bet corner time to someone who's in the chat. That's something Big G does. I don't make bets to people who can't pay the bet off. It doesn't make any sense. You're not on the show. You can't do the corner time.
That's no fun.
Go stand in the corner now.
What's the win? What's the win for me? I have all the risk and none of the reward. I'm not doing that. X Concepts 1 says Vegas projections are meaningless. Who cares what they change their fake predictions to? That's not real, just a made-up guess. You obviously do not understand how much money is gambled on in the United States on football and what research and what people get paid to figure these things out. Vegas is pretty good. Kenneth McNair Jr. did hit it a little bit better if you want to put that back up as far as the Vegas thing. I don't know where it went. There it is. Vegas knew they were signing Aaron Rodgers, people. That over-under was already baked in with us having Rodgers. How come people don't get that? Shake my head. Nail in the head. It's the reason why it didn't move. They had the assumption that they were going to get Aaron Rodgers.
Actually, you said earlier this episode it's 8.5 now. It was 7.5 a few episodes ago.
Half. Hold on. I'll give you the date that we did our predictions. It was.
I remember yelling at Big G. He was trying to get me. He was trying to back me into a corner on a bet. Talking about you bet they will win over 7.5.
Steelers. All right. on 5-16, and the over/under was 8.5. I got it in my notes for the show notes. Yes, sir.
Maybe I'm
You
mistaken.
said it was 7.5 or 8.5
It was 8.5
on May 16th.
5-16.
The schedule came out 5/14, so that was our first show after the schedule.
Yeah, and we didn't get to go through how many they thought they were going to win.
I think it was I actually think it was prior to the schedule. We had the conversation. I don't know. I have to look it up.
Well, once we knew the schedule, we kind of had an idea of how it was going to play out. So I would be more apt to take Vegas predictions after that than just before. They don't know anything. So
that was the conversation. He was trying to bet me before. That's why I said I don't even know when or where who anybody's playing. So that would be crazy for me.
But I think that was a bet between like the Bears and the Steelers, if I remember correctly. Like, who's going to win more games? You said I don't know nothing, so I'm not betting on anything. And he was just saying the Steelers are going to win more games than the Bears.
The number was 7. I don't remember the entire context of the conversation. I just remember 7.5 was a number. Like I said, I will go back and watch it again. But something tells me that there was someone got a line from somewhere, and 7.5 got thrown out there. I don't know.
Well, that's a big G number. He throws out anything, so we know this. So maybe we can disregard it. B Dirt has the official line from
Might
May
have been
16th.
somebody's shoe size. He saw it. He just threw it up there as a win-loss.
But I mean, I think as far as Vegas goes, when you take that bet, you're betting on or betting against Mike Tomlin's coaching record.
I have bet that over on Tomlin for the past several years, and it's hit every time. And this is the first year I'm not going to do it. I just don't understand. I don't know what's going to happen at that quarterback position, and it's a little bit, I don't know. Listen, it very well could hit. It very well could hit. We'll see.
Well, I think, and obviously that's why the Vegas guys set the number right there. They want to get people to bet.
Big Pun is also correct here. He says Vegas missed the 49ers over-under by 8 games last year. Vegas isn't inflappable. Yes, you're 100% correct. They do not hit the nail on the head every time. They are pretty good at it. But especially with NFL football, a lot of injuries happen, holdouts, unhappiness, blah, 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 blah.
Did the Bengals hit their over last year? They won 9. Did they hit over?
They did not. They were 9.5.
Okay.
Was their over under last year?
Did the Bears hit over, Pay?
Absolutely not. And the numbers are these things are done by not by a group of dudes in a room. It's done by complicated analytics. Analytics is a bunch of data centers. So one data center is just crunching these numbers and they drawing down on a most likely outcome. And that's where you get the more realistic number as you get close to the season. Before schedules come out, most teams are going to be sitting at 8.5, 7.5, just because the money is right. It's because they know how fan bases are. Most people can go that way, other people can go that way. That's how Vegas makes money on every bet.
Hold on a second. I can't just let this. The chat room's on one today. It started off out. Who? James Overby. He said, "Okay, the past 2 years, when I comes to talks about the AFC North, since he always be picked at the top of the league based on Joe and their offense. It's funny they have no defense. Wow, I don't know what you're talking about. The last 3 years, the Baltimore Ravens have been picked to win the division.
Rightfully so.
That's not factual. Period. Anyway,
who's won the last 3 years? Baltimore won the last 2. Who won that third year? Was it Cincinnati?
Bengals, yeah.
Okay. So last thing about the Ravens, real quick, Pay. The Ravens signed Rashad Bateman to a 3-year, basically $37 million contract, which is like 12.5 a year, right? No, 12.25
12.25.
It's a good deal, pay for the Ravens.
Why not? He had a decent year last year. I used him a few times in fantasy. He was pretty dependable in the red zone for Lamar in the offense.
His first good year, right? His first good year.
Probably.
Okay. So I mean, I have no problem. $12 million for a number 2 or 3 receivers, decent money. I mean, good. I think it's a good signing by the Ravens.
I think it's. I don't know if I would say decent. I mean, 12. It's regardless. It's irrelevant. But yeah, their reward. The Ravens like to reward their guys, right? Especially the guys that don't go out there and fondle people at the massage parlors. So that's just something that the Costa and this organization that they handle. Another contract situation that you want to pay attention to is that Eric DaCosta did. He kind of let it slip in an interview this past week that they have actually opened up contract extension talks with the best quarterback in the league, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Johnson. Yeah, him.
So $36 million to my man Bateman. And now they're in discussions with extending Lamar Jackson's contract out some more. So gotta want to earn.
And smart money, they're getting out ahead of whatever the new market is going to be. They're going to spend it.
They're going to use Josh Allen's contract as a template, right? And now that market is set right there, go ahead and ink it. Don't do that thing that we did 2-3 years ago. Let it drag out, and now you got to do this whole nonsense in the media all off season with your money tied up because you're going to sign them. Just do it now.
Lamar had to bring his mama into it. Pay, did you see Lamar Jackson's cameo appearance on Raising Kanan?
No, I don't watch Raising Kanan.
Oh, you're missing a good show.
I saw a clip of it, but I didn't know the context, so I don't.
Right. B Dirt, man, what's going on in Bengal Nation, man? What's the biggest story I feel like, and you tell me if I'm wrong, what's going to happen with Trey Hendrickson as you see it right now going into mandatory minicamp? Is he going to show up?
No. I mean, if he does, he's going to be wearing polos. They offer $28 million, an average of $28 million for 3 seasons. They're going to have to go north of 30 if they want to keep him happy. Who knows if we'll get there, if we won't. At this point, I don't know. I don't see the trade being viable, and I think they'll have to get something done.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
To me, takes 30 to get it done. So they're letting $6
over
million.
30.
So even 30 and a half.
It's probably $10 million to $15 million over 3 years.
It's $7.5 million if they give them 30 and a half for not 91.5 million. It's $7.5 million over if it was 28 million a year. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think they're going. I think it would end up costing them 10 to 15 million more for their contract over 3 years. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. But it's not my money. It's not my principal. I don't know the discussions that are going on behind closed doors. So it's hard to speculate about. I would just pay the man money.
Okay.
Now, if he wants 40, which he's came out and said he's not asking for 40. He said that publicly. But if he wants 39 or 38, it's a little steep for Trey.
Yeah, it's not. He's
under
not
35 to me.
Yeah, he's behind. Bosa set the market a couple years ago at 34. He's behind Bosa.
If he wants 35, he's going to get 1 year contract.
Right. I mean, yeah. To me, the sweet spot is that 30.
If he wants 31, whatever. I'd run it, but that's just me. Like I said, it's not my money. There's some more the Shamar Stewart stuff. He's not signing because he doesn't like the wording in his contract. Now it's changed. We've heard reports like 2 or 3 different things. Now it's the disqualifiers in the contract. So if he gets suspended for a full year for PEDs or for whatever it might be, it could void the end years of his contract. And his dad is he doesn't want that in the contract. He doesn't want this and we're doing that. It's not unusual to have that kind of language in a contract, but they don't want it in because our number one draft pick last year didn't have it in theirs. So why are you starting it now? I'm like, well, listen, just because you've made a long time, you've made a bad decision for a long time doesn't mean you should keep doing it. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I mean, business evolves, business change. I mean, that's what happens. The market changes. You're gonna want your money when it's time for you to get paid with the change in the market. So a change in the contract, then if this is your contract, you sign it. I mean, I don't know. That just seems. I know. I remember
listen. Here's
I don't know about that, B.
I'll let you finish, but I want to get to Gene Smith says it's trade worth that when you're done. Sorry,
I don't know about that, B. I mean, some bad decisions you make, you want to keep making them. I mean, I don't know. That's
fair point.
I mean, they feel good, especially at 3 a.m.
Gene Smith says, is Trey worth that? So I look big picture. Trey Hendrickson is a very good pass rusher from one spot on the ball, does the same thing over and over again. He's very good at it. That's the reason why I don't think he gets that $35 to $40 million. But I think if the Bengals don't pay 30 to 32 for him and do this contract right or whatever, I think it's negative for the Bengals, their stigma. They're in a position now where paying Joe Burrow, paying T. Higgins, paying Jamar Chase, if they can figure out a way to get this done, they might start breaking stigma around the league of what they've done with this the Blackburn family now in, which is the daughter, Katie Blackburn, the daughter of Mike Brown and a new regime. And there might be some stigma broke there. So that's the reason why I think they can't afford to really like Tate was saying, $7.5 to $12 million. I don't think you can afford not to do it.
what potentially does he's a great player, right? Is that a huge impact on the Bengals defense last year? If he's not there, are they the same defense they were last year? Or are you still expecting improvements because of change in coordinator, young talent? I'm sorry.
We didn't have anybody else putting pressure on the quarterback last year. Now, do I think that's going to get better this year? Yeah. At the end of the year last year, you saw some things from Joseph Asai. And we did some stuff in the middle of life. I think it's going to get better, but if we don't have him, it's a big hole. He literally at the end of games is a guy that can shut it down, kind of like not to the point where TJ Watt does, but he is our closer on defense. He did it. He did it against the Steelers last year. Was that the game?
Right. Okay. I mean, so Burrow and the offensive guys are looking good. What's the deal with the running back out of Texas Tech? What's his name?
Number 28. You asked me to. I'll think of it in a second.
Is it Trey something too?
It just goes to show you how deep that running back draft was last year. The guy's good. The guy's going to be productive. He's a bigger, not a tall guy, but a bigger back compared to our Chase Brown. It's going to be a good yin and yang. Now we have somebody, I think, in those lower.
Taj Brooks.
He's got somebody in that short yardage situation. I think that's going to be a little bit better fit. And, on tape, it looks like he likes to put his nose into blocking. And he was a bell cow back for Texas Tech. So everything coming out of training camp says he looks good. Everything coming out of training camp right now says Andre Yoshivas looks like a stud. He's faster, twitchier. He is stronger. So this could be a nice breakout for him, I think.
It seems like from last year, you guys got off Tyler Boyd at the right time.
Unfortunately, yeah, because again, great guy. It's part of the Trey Hendrickson thing, right? Great locker room guy, great guy. That was unfortunate, but sometimes you gotta get rid of great guys before you end up stuck holding the bag for somebody that's not producing.
Right. All right, Pay. Any final thoughts from you, man?
Not a one.
Well,
Those
real
sniff
quick,
stuff underneath the sink.
I like the homie Curbs parting shot last week. Not parting shot, but final thought. He said, don't do anything Matrix worthy during the week. But that's half the people we deal with probably in real life and in the live chat. You know what I mean? But I'll say this. Last night, interesting. We're not gonna have overtime. We'll be back with overtime next week when everybody gets back on a Friday evening schedule. I think I was out of town. B Dirt was going last week. Big G's going this week. We never know when Pay's gonna show up. So we kind of been all over the place. So
I'll be in Michigan next week. I'm gonna do my best.
Okay.
To still be on. You
can always set overtime up ahead of time. If it's your week. I don't even know who week it is. That's between y'all. But
I believe it's Pay, but
up in the air for next week. We'll see.
But no, man, I just want to say last night's NBA Finals game real quick. Thoughts on that, and give me your pick.
I mean, OKC looks like it's too much.
Okay.
Too many weapons.
OKC is going to win in the finals. Great game though last night.
Fun to watch. And the NHL has a great matchup right now too with Edmonton and Florida. Fun to watch. Edmonton comes back down 3-2, comes back in the fourth and wins in overtime.
Is this the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, it's the finals. Both finals are great right now. Hey, Claude.
We've only been one game.
Boom. I mean, it's off to a good start. How about that?
Claude, you wasn't even here, man. I was going to say, what's the one person that was missing all show? And besides G. I thought Claude didn't show up because G wasn't here.
Mr. Woodside said bet Edmonton. I don't know. Florida plus 1.5 was pretty good for the first game.
No, I didn't hear you because Claude came in and I started talking about that. This the Stanley Cup final.
Yes, sir.
Man, when's the last time Edmonton won?
No one from Canada has won in like 30 years.
Yeah, it's been late 80s, 88 maybe. Well, I know
for Edmonton.
Yeah, it was early in the 80s. Yeah.
I mean, Edmonton was that deal when Gretzky was in his prime. I remember being a young fella and they were winning all the time back then.
Okay, Robert says you are talking about the UFL playoffs. What you talking about? Go Michigan Panthers. Let's go.
Who? The Michigan Panthers?
A good friend of mine's son plays tight end for them, Gunnar Oaks. Best of luck to you. Tight end.
Okay. See, I haven't kept up with the UFL. Then the DC Defenders, are they in the playoffs?
No.
Well,
who?
I didn't know. The DC Defenders.
What?
That's not a UFL team?
What's the UFL?
United Football League?
What?
You don't? Yeah, okay. All right.
Birmingham Stallions play the Michigan Panthers.
Any more playoff matchups than that we should know?
That's the chip.
Oh, that's the chip. When is that?
Oh, I just scrolled by it.
You guys are degenerates betting on UFL. I thought the pandemic had us betting on crazy things.
I'm not betting on anything. I've lost enough money kicking you money between the Cubs and the Reds this far. And at this point, I think all I can do is break even. Is one more series, and I don't think we'll get the best records from.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a conference. DC Defenders are in the XFL side.
Yeah, baby.
Yep. Against the St. Louis Battlehawks.
All right, B Dirk. We might have some betting action if we get Michigan versus the DC Defenders.
USFL championship game is
Wait a
on
second.
NBC at 3 p.m. on Sunday.
Wait
and
a
the
second.
USFL is at 6 p.m. on Fox.
The USFL is
Oh.
back?
So XFL and the USFL. So the USFL is what they call the one side of it. The XFL is the other, kind of AFC, NFC.
Oh,
And then they play the championship game.
and this is all just one league in the UFL. I was going to say
UFL plays June 14th, Saturday at 8 p.m.
I was going to say you all were talking about MySpace. The USFL is back. Whoa.
Yeah.
It never went anywhere. They just went from a league to a conference, basically. And these games are Saturday, you said? Yeah, Saturday.
Sunday at 3 and 6, and then the following Saturday at 8 is the championship.
You
Thanks,
said
Rob. Appreciate it.
You said the USFL never went anywhere. Does your president know that?
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
That was
Okay.
that was an exit.
Defunct.
Hey, speak before
Right.
Pay gives us our outro, man. Have you guys watched the fall of Favre yet?
I've not.
No,
On Netflix? Just check it out. It's only an hour and 10-minute watch.
I heard it was all. I heard it was all about the Jen Staker stuff.
No, that was a part of it. They got to the Mississippi stuff too.
Okay.
The second half is the Mississippi stuff. So yeah, how he got this volleyball gymnasium built for his daughter, and he's in text messages saying, "Can we get in trouble for this? Can I get caught? Can my name be put in it?" And he's telling Congress that he didn't know anything about it and stuff like that. Shout out to the cuz T Tate. What's up, fam? Love you. Got your boy Pay, your little cuz Pay in the building. He's strange, T. Just want you to know. Dealing with him on a regular, want you to know you got one strange bird cousin. It's not me.
Oh, why you lie to T like that? But back to this Favre thing. I think I just made my plans for tonight. I'm gonna roll up and get me something to eat and watch that. Might pour me up a glass of wine. That sounds like good watching.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, and you've been saying it for years now since the inception of the homies. Put Brett Favre in jail, and he deserves to be there, and he hasn't been there since. But yeah,
do they show all 7,000 of his interceptions?
No, they don't show. It's minimum football, like how much he's loved in Green Bay and stuff like that, and the year in Minnesota. But it gets all into his dirt, though. Into his dirt. Did you guys know how Jen Sturger got noticed? Got big?
Yo. Yeah, Brett Favre got noticed. Brett Favre noticed that he got big and sent her a picture. So
right, I wasn't going there. I was saying because she had a name like 4 or 5 years before that, but it was because Brett Musburger mentioned her at a Florida State game. She went to Florida State and she was like a girl in a cowboy hat with a tight tank top on, and
he was being creepy old man. Yes, I remember that.
Creepy old
He
man,
was great at that, by the way. Fantastic. Brett Musburger did creepy old man real well.
Shout out to Brett Musburger, man, the OG.
Nope.
What do you mean?
No, what? What are we talking about?
Might as well end freaky.
Yeah, may as well end with the Diddy, and after the Diddy pay, go ahead and take us home, man.
No Diddy.
You got to chill.
We got a 1-2 count, 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Tigers up 3-1.
Damn. Oh. Tie-in man, the tie-in run is at plate. Fly to W. We're going.
So, oh man. So Pay, go ahead and take us home, man.
Fly to W.
I don't have no fly to W, man. Say what you always say.
Sign Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, we can do something for that. Aaron Rodgers is signed, and we are out.